As speculation mounts about a potential presidential bid by former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, it appears he's already off to a rough start. One America's Meghann Dyke takes a look at the early responses.
Democrat presidential hopefuls are voicing disapproval over the likely entry of Michael Bloomberg into the already crowded 2020 field. Bloomberg made headlines this week after it was revealed he filed the paperwork in Alabama to run as a Democrat contender. This comes after Bloomberg's reported deal not to enter the race with former Vice President Joe Biden if Biden's campaign as a moderate Democrat gained momentum.
With regard to Michael Bloomberg, I welcome him in the race. Michael's a solid guy, and let's see where it goes. I have no problem with him getting in the race. And in terms of he's running because of me, last polls I looked at, I'm pretty far ahead.
But as the country has seen, this is not the case, as Biden faces a steep challenge against his more liberal opponents. The late start will leave Bloomberg's name off the ballot in New Hampshire and Iowa, two early voting states offering just a small amount of delegates. He'll also have missed out on the first three Democrat presidential debates with little time to meet the requirements for the next round. And, should he decide to run, he'll have to explain the shift from Republican to Independent and recently to the Democrat Party. However, not everyone is taking the news seriously, including President Trump, who brushed off his fellow New Yorkers' potential bid.
Little Michael will fail. He'll spend a lot of money. He's got some really big issues. He's got some personal problems, and he's got a lot of other problems. But I know Michael Bloomberg fairly well, not too well, fairly well, well enough. He will not do very well. And if he did, I'd be happy. There is nobody I'd rather run against than little Michael.
Shortly after news broke of his impending campaign launch, 2020 candidate Elizabeth Warren tweeted a welcome message to Bloomberg. In an apparent jab, she included a calculator to figure out how much Bloomberg would pay under her tax plan if she's elected. The 77-year-old isn't new to the world of politics, having served 3 terms as the mayor of New York City between 2002 and 2013. Unlike Warren's response, presidential candidate Andrew Yang says he's glad to see Bloomberg throw his hat in the ring.
I think he's concerned that there are a couple of frontrunners that have economic perspectives that differ substantially from his, and that he wants to make sure that his perspective gets represented. This is a democracy. You can't fault someone for putting their hat in the ring. And I believe that Mike has a lot to add. He's done a lot for the country over the last number of years.
With a reported $57 billion net worth, Bloomberg will likely not focus on small dollar donations touted by candidates Warren and Bernie Sanders. This may not sit well with liberal voters, who in recent years moved toward grassroots campaigns, most notably during Sanders' 2016 presidential bid. And, if elected, Bloomberg will be forced to divest from his billion-dollar personal business ventures or put them in a blind trust. With increasing scrutiny into his consideration of a presidential bid, only time will tell if Michael Bloomberg has what it takes to catch up in the polls to his potential opponents. Meghann Dyke, One American News.